one of the things that drove me as an athlete was I was always enamored with how do athletes go broke after their playing career is over. So it made me become very, very financially aware. What is one of the biggest money lessons you learned or have went through yourself?
Well, I've been very fortunate. Even though I wouldn't say I had a ton of money to play golf when I was young. My parents have been by no means rich, but always there to help me.
Yep.
So without that, I would have probably been in a world of hurt. I remember being in college, going to a baseball game, doing one of those credit card signups, so you get the free T-shirt or whatever. Right. Well, I ended up activating the credit card, but I don't put the correct information down on that sheet, right? Nobody does. You're just trying to get the free T-shirt.
Yeah.
I ended up activating a credit card that didn't even have the correct information. So when I tried to pay the bill, they wouldn't let me pay the bill because
you wrote the wrong information.
I couldn't even give them my social security number because I didn't give them my social security number.
Right.
I made up some numbers.
Right.
So I ended up getting in big trouble with that because they're like, if you need to pay this, they send a collection agency after me. I'm like, I've been trying to pay it, but you won't let me. So that was a big lesson.
Wow.
And I feel like we're doing pretty much better now. Like I still live in the same house, my original house I first bought in 2010 when the housing market was in a bad spot. So my house costs almost nothing. Now we've been looking to buy a new house for at least 7 years, but now the housing market's so out of
control. Good luck with that, right?
That I don't want to give up my nothing mortgage. For this house that's not worth what I'm going to have to pay for
exactly.
it. Even though I got 3 bedrooms in my house and 1 bathroom and 5 people living in it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be money smart. You know?
Right.
So
You're doing it, Jay. You're doing it. You're making it work. We appreciate that, man. One thing we want to do is always highlight the financial piece because financial literacy is so key with athletes today. I know for myself, I remember saving my last $20 for the sake of being able to say I'm not broke. And so now any chance we get when I see athletes, not only the ones that are being responsible with their money, I salute. But then I'm always on the lookout for the ones that are squandering their money because you only get a small window of opportunity to make the kind of money those athletes make at that level where you don't want them squandering away thinking they're going to get another payday. And so I love the fact that you're frugal, you're resourceful, you haven't tried to keep up with the Joneses. I talk about lifestyle creep. You've avoided that. You didn't trade in your nothing mortgage for a $300,000 house in this market that would have you now having to work even harder to make ends meet.
I can't imagine what I would have done if I was 20 years old and somebody gave me $1 million. Like, can you imagine? Like, I understand what these people go through, like losing all their money. Because what would I have done with $1 million at 20 years old?
Exactly.
I didn't want to think about it.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have been smart. I know that.
Exactly.
So it's tough, and you're right. It's so important.
Yeah.
You don't realize it either. You get $20 years old, you get we have more than $1 million, right? I'm lowballing that, and you don't realize that you're not just going to always make that money.
Exactly.
Like you talked about. You just don't. It's hard.
I was thinking advancement. What does that look like for you? Are you looking to advance in your career? And then another question is on top of that, if you was on ESPN, I know if you watch ESPN, some of those NFL guys, who you picture yourself being?
Well, the first question, do I advancement? I'm never going to say never, but I'm not actively seeking it. This is the area I grew up in. My kids' grandparents live here. As much as I dislike the cold weather and I always want to live somewhere warm, and I promise you when I retire I will be a snowbird. I will not live here in the winter. But right now I want to be here for my family.
Exactly.
So I'm not really looking to advance. I always had the dream, right? Everybody wants to get to the top, no matter what profession you're in. So to answer your second question, Jim Nance, and this is another interesting topic. Jim Nance is a guy I always wanted to be when I was a kid, right? Because he did my 3 favorite things. He did the NFL, he did college basketball, the NCAA tournament, and then he did golf, right?
Yeah.
So I always wanted to be Jim Nance. And I don't know Jim Nance well, or I haven't studied him, but I believe he's on his second marriage.
You needed somebody to emulate.
Can you imagine, though, the lifestyle? Like, he travels
all the time.
I complain now when I have to go to the NCAA tournament in March because I don't want to be away from my family.
Right.
I mean, he's traveling 9 months out of the year.
He's married to the travel. That's what it is. He's
how
married
can
to
you have a
travel.
life?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you get a different perspective when you get a little bit older, I guess. But Jim Nance was always who I wanted to be because I wanted to do the NFL, college basketball, and golf.
Jim Nance is really good, man. Him and Tony Romo, they got a good thing going.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
it. That's
do.
their team.
Where they do.
Yeah, on CBS.